dead before I said let's fight.
No, that's impossible.
By the way,
BT Dubs is BTW. I'm gonna bust you up. Nope, I'm not coming down. Where am I? Help!
milk.
Chance got $5.
The champ got 5 on it.
Back where it came from.
Go back where he came.
Ah, here we go. Oh, fun. Oh, God.
Oh, I tried to go in triple low. Don't for me.
Wow. One live, you coward. Oh, no. I should have done that.
Ooh, and a flawless transition back over. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the First to 50 podcast. I am Scum, and I'm joined by always as my co-host, my partner in crime, my, what title would you give yourself?
The co-hostess with the mostest. I don't know. Put me on the spot.
I've never put Meshi on the spot. The improv is not with this one. That's okay, because we're a podcast and we talk about stuff. Mainly video games, anime, and a surprise reading portion of the podcast. This is new. We kind of talk about what we do every week. It's been like 3 weeks, so happy holidays. I've been sick, but I'm kind of back. Meshi's not a real person. He's a JPEG, so he doesn't get sick.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah, even if I did, I don't have to show my face, so.
Oh, Lord, we don't
Yeah.
need to see that. Don't worry, no one's self-esteem is being attacked right now.
What self-esteem?
Meshi, I'm gonna ask you something that I don't think anyone's ever asked you before. Are you doing okay?
That is the kindest thing anyone has ever asked me before. Yeah, I'm all right.
Say about that, but if you're watching this on YouTube, the screen behind you, my Joe Rogan TV, it's gonna be blurred out or covered up with something. But if you'd like to watch me live, I have links down below where you can come check us out. And I guess this is an announcement of the First to 50 official YouTube channel, because things have happened and they've ruined everything on my regular channel where I have the rest of my stuff. So I have a First to 50 podcast YouTube channel where all of these are going to be going up along with the past episodes. This is the first one on the new channel that's going to be, talking about that stuff. Where was I going to go with this?
Subscribe to me, please.
I don't know if I feel a little Sundari these days, you know? But I guess I'll start with my week and what I've been up to. Guess what? The boys back on it. We're playing the First Ascended again. I have finally gotten around to building that puddle of ragu on the floor right there. Her name's Harris. She got gravity squeezed by the bad guy. And they brought her back and they attached robo arms to her. Meshi, when I was excited about a Punch Girl being in the First Ascendant, I undersold it a lot. It's so fun. Because essentially all she does is, don't ignore the gun stuff. She'll just punch and it's an AoE orb that's a hitbox. And then she charges up her special by punching like that. You can make that AoE orb huge. Like, you just punch everything in front of you and you build up your custom, like, bar that you spend on stuff, like an AoE field that just hurts people. And then you just keep punching people. You can dive bomb. that jump up she did in the air and she punched the ground, you can actually hit the button again and you literally dive bomb like Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Black Adam at the ground.
Well,
It's
that
so
sounds really
fun.
cool.
It's so fun. Uh, uh, I thought about cheating on Freyna. It was crazy. She's so fun. Um, so we're back doing that. The good, the bad, the ugly. There's nothing ugly about the first Descendant. The game's gorgeous. The bad though is the new power system they've implemented, which is a module that is character specific and rolls random stats. And I think I showed you this while I was sick.
Yeah. The the horribleness of that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, so to put it in perspective, there's a module that takes a place of 10 slots on your character. It can have random stats on it, and you re-roll to see what you get. You can get 2 good stats, 3 good stats, 2 good stats and a bad stat, which is like detrimental to you, or 3 good stats and a bad detrimental stat to you. So you don't get to choose what lane you get from. It's just those are all the possibilities. And guess what? Each of them has a laundry list of what they can roll, as well as the rolls that can be a gray, a blue, a purple, or a gold roll on one of the 4 things that you might get on that thing. If you even get 4, you might get 2. And the main problem comes with not with necessarily, oh, this is a grindy game. You're doing everything, so of course you need something to grind after. Like, oh, some nerd needs to get the perfect all gold rolls, right?
Yeah.
The material it takes to upgrade goes up per roll multiplicatively. It's not like, oh, let's just like ease them in. No, it's like 5, 10 to 35 to 65 to 120. Like the jumps per roll are insane. It gets so expensive after like 5 or 6 rolls. It's not even worth doing anymore. You might as well regrind and get the module fresh and just try to roll it again for 5 of the currency. They have to adjust it. I know they've made a treadmill for you to run on. And that's fine, but it's got me to the point where I no longer want to do it. So I'm just going to get the module and roll it, and if it's better, I'm like, yay. If not, I'm like, I'll scrap it for 5 more of the material, just grind it out again. Thankfully though, the builds are not dependent on you having that. Like your
Just a
characters can
little
fully
something
function
extra.
without it. It's
Yeah.
just kind of like, do you want to squeeze out just that much more performance?
Sounds like the difference between first place and second place on that leaderboard you like so much.
I reached. It is 1,000% is. New boss is fun. I haven't cleared her yet because I don't have a descendant built for electricity damage. So I'm working on getting Serena built and maybe Bunny. Um, she's got a really cool mechanic where she actually like she does a Tesla from Ragnarok where she's like, "You're trapped in here with me," and she makes a thing, and you have to get you line up with her, and then you have to go to an adjacent thing on the floor, otherwise she kills you. So you're like stuck in this little octagon with her. So you're like, okay, I got dodge left now.
I thought you were gonna talk about. I thought you meant like the thing where he goes like completely horizontal and has like no gravity and just starts spinning around the room like a jackass.
The Tessie slide. Oh, we'll
The
get into more of
Desi
that later.
slide.
Um, no, but the first Descendant, it's delivering the holiday costumes are awesome. I'm not gonna pull them up. Too lazy. No, it's fun. It's fun having a game just to be like, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna do this. And the new Descendant's really fun, so we're back in there. Freyna got some big updates. Her whole character kit's kind of like reworked to now. It's not she's just running around throwing around puddles. It's now she has an infected weapon that spreads AoE stuff. It's so fun. It's so fun. She's more of a gunner now, and it makes sense. So she's like spitting hakuths at you the whole time, rather than just throwing a puddle on the ground and be like, "Now you're stinky in here with me," and slowly dying to dot damage. Yeah, it's great. We're back in
That
there.
makes sense. Yeah, okay. That's a lot better. Have they made any changes to Blair that makes him a little bit better, or is Ultimate Blair kind of still where he's at?
He's still pretty much there. He pretty much just throws meatballs and puts fire on the ground and everyone just burns and suffers. Oh, but there's a huge change to Ajax, which I might
Did he
have to
get
go
a
back to him.
charge?
No. He puts up a bubble and then he pulls out a fucking rocket launcher and it just goes
Okay. I mean, we're getting there. That's a good change. I like that. Give him a little
So
something.
essentially the new dungeon, I went in with my character previously built and I was getting like one tapped. I was like, oh my god, I can't survive in here. So it's kind of good that they've beefed up the difficulty of things. Like you have to build your character right in order to run the new like group dungeon. I
Okay.
had an Ajax who was literally just steam cleaning the entire area. He would just literally pop his little bubble, walk forward with the thing, just. It's just a hard character because it's so nice to see him finally performing because he's always kind of been. They made the game. They wanted to have a support, a tank, and DPS. They wanted the kind of the trinity, right? And
Right.
then they're like, well, let's just make it to where everybody can clear everything so anyone can play whoever they want. So they kind of, he didn't have a place because there was no point in bringing him because everybody's killing everything so fast. Why would you bring a slow tank when no one needs a shield?
Right.
But now he kind of does the most damage and puts protective bubbles out, and he's just kind of cool. So I might have to, we'll see. So that's our first Ascendant update for the week. Um, I've also been playing a little bit of a little co-op game, Solo Leveling Arise Overdrive. Of all the titles, this one is the most generic. I have a feeling the anime might be as well. It's based on a Korean manhwa. Um, this is just a fun action game that you can just queue up for. So it's like so essentially it's a phone game that was too hard for phones, and they just made like a PC console release of it. Because you have a lot of just frame like parries and dodges that you have follow ups out of. It's just a fun combat game. There's nothing too special about it. Oh shit! Hold on, we're being raided. Hold on, Meshi. Hold on.
That's all I know.
I'm glad to know you're literally the SpongeBob waiter, where it's like if I know muscular women and breathing. Oh, okay. Anyways, um, so the solo leveling game, it's got. So the one problem I have with it, Meshi. Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about it. It's fun. Okay, you see this right here?
Yep.
You have 4 talent trees to go off of. This
Okay.
is for the main character. The next tab over is for your weapon trees, and then you have another tree next to that for something else.
That's a lot of
This
fucking
game
trees.
is menus galore. It's like, do you want to tweak and customize your little knobs on your character? Well, here you go. Press 5 buttons to get to another thing. My Western brain has a hard time uh parsing it all out because there's so many different talent trees and weapon trees and other trees to then upgrade and customize. But there's a lot of custom, like you can customize your builds. I have a kung fu punch girl, and she's a tank, and she staggers the boss. So like once you stagger him, he falls to the ground. And everybody gets like a DPS phase. Um, I can't speak to the story of it. I skipped all of it, but well, I kind of want to watch the anime.
Yeah,
I
no,
remember
I
watching a
get it.
few episodes back when it like came out, and I got really bored because it's kind of like, oh, a guy now has like a checklist of like isekai game stuff to do. He's killing bugs, you know.
Yeah, no, I get it. It takes a while to ramp up, but even then it's still like kind of the same thing, but like just
Yes.
harder enemies.
So have you watched it?
I have, yeah.
So you're like current on it?
Yeah. I've seen I guess everything that they released. I don't know if they released anything new, but I have watched it. Yeah.
Um, and I guess the only other thing that I've done with my week, um, is I went through a religious experience last night.
Okay.
Um, I lost internet. I sat down at my computer and I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm finally not sick anymore, kind of. You know what? I'm gonna get on the internet, and then AT&T just shit the bed. I couldn't even use my
They knew.
like 5G. It was over. They're like, okay, no, no, no. So I looked around my room and I was like, wait a minute. I have 7 volumes of Vagabond of the Viz Big. Where are they? Like the Viz Big editions or whatever. That's like 3-in-1, so it's a big old chunky with the oversized pages.
Oh, okay,
Um,
yeah.
I was like, I bought these back in like 2015. It's been 10 years. Holy God.
God
Okay.
damn. Ugh.
Yeah, it's straight to the heart. So, anyways, so I had no internet, no phone, no nothing. So I was like, okay, let me just sit down and read this. And I feel like back in 2015, I think maybe I was reading Berserk, and I think I got current, and then that massive heart, like hole in your heart, happens, and you're like, oh no, nothing else will ever like fill this void in my soul now because nothing else will be as good as this. Why bother reading anything else? I think that's what happened. Meshi, I last night I sat in a chair and I read 2 of these volumes, which is essentially 6 manga books. This man, so when I tell you this man's art is detailed and gorgeous, it goes, I can't oversell it. You need to pick this book up and read it. Like, you looking at this page will not do it justice. You need to see it on a printed piece of paper and flip to it yourself. This is just a picture of an old man going, yeah. And he had an author's note stating that he loved drawing old men, and this was the next chapter. um, the Vagabond is amazing. It's from the same dude who did Slam Dunk, the basketball manga. Um, it's absolutely gorgeous. There's like full page spreads that left me in awe, much like when I read Berserk. So I might actually do like summary videos of like, this is my reaction to reading volume 1.
Do it. Do it, you coward. I bet you won't.
I, I probably won't.
God
But you
damn it.
called me a
That
coward, so now I'm
was good.
going to.
Yeah, I did.
Uh,
Do it so
I know
I
you're
don't have to read it.
oh, perfect. There's so many good bits. Okay, anyways. So we're back with your weekly update of this is like a weekly update of where the winds meet. Have you solidified your opinions? How do you feel?
Okay. This game,
If you can
I've
call
come
it
to the
that.
conclusion that this game is a shitty MMO.
Okay.
that's a strong statement. It is a for freedom for and I'm going to explain why.
Okay.
But if you are looking for a single player experience where you're like I don't care that the story is badly translated and I'm not going to know what's going on, but I want some Elden Ring style bosses that are all unique and there's some weapon variety in there and the
Mm-hmm.
world is big and I can run off in any direction and find something to do. If you're looking for that kind of experience with the opportunity to have some co-op moments,
With
if you
yes.
have some
Mm-hmm.
friends, then yes, this is a good game. As an MMO,
Mm-hmm.
it is not. It's it's just not like it's like a single player game that they were like we can add some co-op to it, but what if we also made it MMO as well?
Mm-hmm.
And it took a long time for me to come to that conclusion. It took until I finished like everything and then hit like the maintenance mode of the MMO to figure out that it's kind of just a shitty MMO. Um cuz like I will recommend it if you're a single player guy and you want and you know and free who could beat free? But like if you're looking for an MMO experience, this is not the game. And that might be just because I don't know what an MMO experience is supposed to be anymore, but this game doesn't feel like this is what it should be.
Do you
because
feel
there's
like it's a do you feel like it's a bunch of half step, like a bunch of half measures, like it wants to be all these things, but it doesn't fully go into them, where it's like we're gonna tease a lot of this stuff and we're gonna do a lot of it, but we're not gonna go full in on
kind of
the multiplayer
maybe
aspects of it?
I don't know, kind of sort of, or maybe it just hasn't found what it wants to do. So like as an MMO,
Hmm.
right? You would go online and you see a bunch of people. And you're like, oh yeah, and you're going to interact with them some way. You're either going to form groups and go out and do something, or you're going to play, one of the systems that's in the game. In this case, in this MMO, it's like a group session where you're doing some weird bullshit that gives you points and then that gives you a resource, or you're going to play like a co-op little mini game like Chinese chess or
Hmm.
I forget what they call it in the game, but it's like certain card games and stuff like that. There's like mini games to do as like a group, but I think it's limited to like 4 most of the time or 2 most of the
Hmm.
time. Um so in terms of it being an MMO, there is no point to be in the online world. There's no point because if you go out in the MMO version of the game,
Hmm.
like none of the mobs spawn. The only mobs that spawn are like the random mobs that you farm
What?
for materials, like deers and stuff. So like the
What?
camps are all empty.
What?
Um, as far as I can tell, it's either they're all empty or every time I visited them, they've all been
Hmm.
wiped out. Which I guess is a possibility in this game, but it just feels like they just kind of remove the enemies in the world when you're in the MMO part of it. I
Mm.
could be wrong on that. But like the only reason to go into the online world is to find a doctor, because you fucked up and you got hurt, you need to be
Hmm.
healed. To play the little mini games that are part of the weekly, um, or to I guess look at other people's outfits if that's your thing, but you have to find where they're all hanging out at. And most of the time, they're just kind of in a big pile for no other fucking reason other than to do this quick little group mini game. So, like, okay, you're like, I'm going to go out venturing into the world, which I did.
Hmm.
I ran off. I was like trying to find people for various reasons just to see what was going on. And every time I found somebody, they were either just standing in a field doing absolutely fucking nothing, or they were bot farming because the in your single player world, like the flowers and stuff have a
Hmm.
24-hour cooldown when you pick them. And you need them because they have a chance to give you a resource that you need to upgrade your abilities. So they're necessary parts of you want to go out and pick them. If you're in the online world, it has a 5-minute cooldown. The problem is that there's a $200 or $300 horse. I forget what it is. Um, but I know it's expensive. That
Hmm.
has a 5 or 10 meter radius around it that will automatically pick materials up off the ground. So
Oh,
people
so
will
you're just.
just bot farm and have it run in this, circle
Hmm.
designated path and pick up these flowers. Um, so
Let me
like the
cut you
only
off real
reason,
quick. Let me cut you off real
yeah,
quick.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because now the entire so there's shit flinging back and forth between Aeon 2 in this game, right? Because people are like moving on to the new thing, and these are the two things.
Yeah.
So the Where the Winds Meet people are like, go gather fucking feathers for your wings, you fairies. And then the Aeon 2 people are like, go pick flowers. And now it all makes sense to me now.
I
You may
I
continue.
I will say that the game, like,
Hmm.
because the stuff that you need the flowers picked for has like a really low chance. It's like 2% per flower or something like
Oh,
that.
brother.
It's
Yeah.
so but the game compensates you by giving you these boxes that you can use. It'll give you the resource instead. You get a limited amount of them per week, but it's
Mm.
enough
Yeah.
to at least upgrade like in a like 2 or 3 abilities. So like if you really didn't want to farm flowers, you're not that hindered. by it. I will say that. I don't know how the feather thing in Aeon 2 how fucked up it is. But you really don't have to farm anything in Werewoods Meet unless you really, really want to.
Mm.
Because every week it gives you a bunch of resources for, I'm going to say for
For
free, but I guess for playing the game.
Yeah.
But like, so there's no reason to go out in the world at all. The reason to do online stuff is, I guess you would just do co-op with your friend if you have friends, or maybe co-op with your guildies. But there's no reason to be in the world other than to watch other people with their $300 outfits, stand in a city somewhere.
Yeah.
So what's the point of the MMO of this game? And it's like, okay, well, what about the raids and stuff? Because every week there's you do a raid for gear and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but it's only 5 to 10 people depending on which one you do, and you're either going to do that with random people that you could, or you're going to do it with like guildmates or people in there that you're going to do it with, and that takes about 5 or 10 minutes depending on the boss. And then you're done, because it takes a shit ton of energy to do those bosses, so you're not going to be able to sit there and just farm them. So you get your boxes, and that's it. So like the MMO part of it doesn't, like, there's nothing there. Like outside of those raid bosses, and that's it. So I was like, okay, maybe it's for people. Maybe the MMO part of it is for like the people that do all like the trading or whatever, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff I'm not interested in. Maybe
Yeah.
that exists. I don't know if it exists. I can't figure out if it does. Um. So what I decided to do
Mm-hmm.
was I joined. It wasn't painstaking, but I did join the PvP sect that
Oh.
you wanted to join, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because in the rules it says, do not, any follower or person that you meet out in the world, you kill. You don't back down, you murder them. That is like rule 2 or rule 1 or something like that of it. And every time you lose a fight, you lose
Metal.
karma, blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was like, perfect. This is what I'm going to do. Just because I was like, fuck 'em. I'm going to go out and get that tells me that this allows you to world PvP.
Yeah.
That's what that tells me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go kill those fucking bot people because it'll be funny.
Yeah.
World PvP doesn't exist in this game. You can challenge people to duels, but that's about it. There's no world PvP whatsoever.
Oh my god.
So it makes that, so it doesn't, so the sect rule of you have to kill any other wanderer that you meet doesn't make sense. Now in that it does
There's.
say wander or like entity or something like that. So it's like, oh, if you fight like mobs, you're supposed to kill them, blah blah blah, whatever. But like it says, like it just implies that you go out and murder people.
You're supposed to be
But
bad. You're supposed to go out like, oh, this guy's fucking at a rice paddy, like collecting shit. You're supposed to impale him and kill him and be bad and then get hunted by the sheriff people.
yeah, because I thought that's kind of what gets people to use like the bounty system or the vendetta
Yeah.
system, is that the world PvP people are out there fucking killing them. I'm gonna go put a bounty on this guy so that someone else goes and kills him instead. Like I thought that's how it would work.
Man.
Doesn't work like that. I mean, you could put bounties on people, but like it
Yeah.
costs real world money to put a bounty on somebody, so it's like,
Oh,
fuck with it.
pay to grief? That's crazy.
Yeah, and it has like an hour cooldown, which that's fine. Like I'm not too worried about the hour cooldown. It's just it costs real money to put a bounty on somebody, so it's like And since there's no world PvP, it's like, okay. So like the sect is like you go and kill people, and if you die to these people or die to anybody, any PvP situation other than arenas, it doesn't count in arenas, which is, thankfully I'm glad it doesn't count in arena. But
Yeah.
you lose karma. But there's no penalty for not participating in PvP. So you just kind of join the sect and sit around and do nothing. There's no motivation to do anything whatsoever.
That sounds like
The
you're
only
miserable, Meshy.
the only motivation to do anything is so that you can get the resource to buy the outfit. Um, but other than that, it's like, why even be part of this sect? Like, there's no real benefit to it other than the cool outfit and maybe the name, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what's the point? Whatever. Um, so like to say it's an MMO, so that is like there's no MMO part. It's a single player that you sometimes do co-op with. So when you've done your weekly raid boss that takes about 5 to 10 minutes,
Uh-huh.
and all that's left is PvP in the arena. So and people really like PvP, I get in some situations,
Mm-hmm.
but I know it's not for everybody. So, and I know the game's PvP is not for everybody too. But that's a different topic.
Yeah, that's another can of worms, Meshy.
So my prediction, there's a lot of single player games, so I think the game will be around for a while, and they're going to be releasing content,
Mm-hmm.
but how much content can they really predictably release to keep people's attention? I think it's going to fall off really, really hard, and then because right now it's got like a bunch of people that are playing it. I'm not going to say it's not
A
popular; it is very popular.
bunch of people. Yes. Yes.
But, like, I think once they get over that single player hump, right, and start into the maintenance part of the MMO, which is,
Mm-hmm.
you're just kinda doing your weekly stuff because you don't have any more single player stuff to do, that it's going to just you're gonna the player base is gonna crash out, and all you're gonna have left is the people that are actually going to play it.
So, Meshy, what you're telling me is this is the player who just finished all the single player stuff and is looking at the open world. He's looking at the horizon and says, there's not shit to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's
Unless
probably going to log out.
yeah. Unless you have
Mm-hmm.
unless you really really like the PvP in the game, which has its own problems,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to hit that wall. Granted, it takes a long time to hit that wall. I'm not angry about the time I spent playing the single player part of this game,
You just wish there
but
was
like
more for you to do at the end.
yeah, but like as an MMO, when you finally get over that hump, the fuck is there to do? Like um so I don't so it's just a single player game with sometimes you go online to get yelled at by people that are like, please give me an outfit, I'll send you feet pics. And it's like, no, fuck off. I'm not giving you that.
Well, I for one am glad for your investigative journalism going into the middle of the actual East to find out if there was where the winds meet, and it appears as though I saved
Like
myself a little bit of heartache.
you would like the moment you realized there was no world PvP, like
I
you would
would
have
have
been so
broken
angry.
something.
Well, yeah,
I
like
would have been livid because that's the whole point. Like my entire thing was like, if I could get to the point of the game where I could go out and just fight people and be a shitty rogue in Stranglethorn Valley all over again, and just be like, hey, not the personnel, kid, bam. I would be happy, but the fact that there is none of that would make me very sad at this. How many hours have you played so far? Pull up Steam.
it's about
I,
200.
God. Oh, God bless. Well, so you heard it here first on the First to 50 podcast. That man across the table will do 200 hours of investigative journalism because he was asked to, not because he was enjoying himself. I won't do that for you. He will. Ask him to do stuff. He'll play something for 200 hours. I
Yeah.
can't be fucked.
Well, it because I was on the fence about it because I was like, I really like the single player stuff,
Yeah.
but
I just love the idea of like 175 hours in. I don't know.
well, it was mostly like me trying to figure out like I like the single player stuff, but I've done it all. So what's left? And
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
left is the PvP stuff. So like my on the fence was, do I like the PvP enough
Mm-hmm.
to play the game? to keep
Yeah.
playing the game.
Yeah.
Because I've done all the single player stuff. All that's left is PvP.
Mm-hmm.
And the PvP is fun when it works, but the moment you get a bad connection or like the game suffers
Curtains.
from a lot of desync
It's
issues
over.
sometimes, you're
Yeah.
just like, this is so frustrating.
Yeah, you're not playing the
Because
game
like
anymore.
you will just have fights where because the idea is that when you hit somebody, you put them into stagger and then you continue a combo. And as long as you don't have gaps in your combo, they're still staggered, and then you
Mhm.
finish your combo.
Mhm.
There are a lot of times when you hit somebody with a move you know should stagger them, and they will just walk away. They will walk out of it, and it just be like, and the game. But there's also mechanics where it's like they have hyper armor. Not like the ability hyper armor where some
Mhm.
abilities very clearly put a yellow aura on them, they have hyper armor, but like there's armor that's like, oh, if you take X amount of damage, or like you ignore the next CC or something like that, something along
Mhm.
those lines or whatever.
Yeah.
um the game doesn't tell you that's what happened. So like if you hit somebody, on their end they're like, well, I know I have this armor ability that prevented me from being CC'd, but on your end, you don't get told that. So you're just like, this motherfucker just walked out of my entire combo
Yeah.
and then literally did the same thing I was going to do to him to me, which means I know it should have worked.
And he says, "Judo chop," and it works, and you're like, ah!
Yeah. So you get a lot of that where you're like, you just did the same thing I did to you. Why did yours work when I saw the same video as you? I know it should have worked.
We're playing the same YouTube short, you and I.
Yeah. Like that. Oh man, that's actually that's my gripe about it. One of my gripes about it is that you can't learn PvP in this game without watching YouTube videos about it. Because there's nothing to practice stagger combos on. Like you have to have a person to practice a stagger combo on.
To see if it's true or not.
Yeah, to see if it's true
Yeah.
or not. Because if you're doing PvP, they may have a shit connection to you, so you can't tell if that combo that you did actually worked, and there was just a bit of lag, so it dropped. Or if you fucked up and you need to get your timing better. Like there's no way to do that. There's nothing to test that. There's no way to practice. Like you could, I guess theoretically you could go out and find a PvP fuck buddy and be like, hey, you want to practice combos on each other? Let's just keep dueling each other until we get these combos down. But you know what the problem with that is that if you lose your fucking duel, you lose karma in the PvP sect you're in. So
Meshi, do you know what you just said to me?
what?
This is what you just said to me.
Voice DXC glitch, that means you can do a combo into another combo with a super, but that combo is not landing any combo, but when he knocked down, it's still a combo, you understand?
Hell no. What the fuck is
That's what,
Well,
Yeah, accurate.
well,
I
I'm
will-
glad you had your fun with
Yeah.
the single player aspect of the game. It's just sad to hear that at the end of the road they ran out of. Well, there's no more road.
I made a mistake and I looked at like what the Chinese server has, and they have these fist weapons that is coming out soon. They're gauntlets that are so fucking cool.
Oh, fist weapons are always awesome. Oh man.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hold out for the fist weapons and see if that gets me to really like the game, and then I will decide whether I'm dropping it or not.
Well, now you're kind of at the point where like you can wait on stuff to happen and come out and test it out because you're past everything now. So,
But I can't.
you got to stay because you got to log in to get your rewards and stuff.
You gotta log in to get your rewards, because like part of the big part of the game, like, because the weapons are one part of the game, but really what's in the background is basically like they're called inner ways, which are basically like the actual way that you build your character. So
Oh,
they
the talent tree of stuff to pick from and
yeah, and
whatnot.
like
Oh,
and so like
yeah.
they don't get really good until like tier 4 or tier 5, or some of them don't get really good until like the end of the tier. But in order to get the material for those, you have to get the boxes every week to get them. So it's like if you just gave up now, like by the time you rejoin, unless they have some really good catch-up mechanic in the future, you're going to be really really fucking behind on the things that make your build. So it's
Sorry,
like,
Western
fuck.
man, they got your balls in a vice grip. You're cooked.
No, the people they have their balls in the vice grip of is the people that spend $300 to $600 and more on fucking outfits. And those people are going to be like, well, I have to play the game. I bought the $800 outfit. I
Ugh,
gotcha rolled for this.
at least the monetization is just cosmetic, other than the bounty stuff. But ooh, that's
Oh man, but like, oh man, the monetization is so like I'm glad it's cosmetic, but some of those cosmetics are like,
the amount of money you have to spend in order to get it. Because not only do you like to put it for the viewer to understand, not only do you have to buy the weapon, you then have to purchase rolls to then change how the weapon looks in order to make it look cool. And that's gambling whether you get a common, a blue, a purple, or a gold roll on the individual pieces of the weapon, and sometimes they can mismatch.
uh,
like there's 5 different weapon skins and they all have a legendary roll on them, but sometimes you can get a the spear head looks different than the whatever. Eventually it all looks the same based on the color you pick, but once you go down that rabbit hole of buying cosmetics, the amount of money, it's like how much are they actually like getting from it? It has to be enough, right?
oh, I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Because I see so many people with
Are there a
like,
lot of people out there with their $2,000 spears and their $800 outfits and just
and there's like 3 or 4 people that bought the $50,000 boat, and I know it because every time they set sail, the server announces that they're leaving the port.
oh man,
And it's like, what in the fuck?
how do you have the money to spend on the bless? All right. Well, Meshi, cheer me up.
Okay.
You played a Planet game. What is this? Why did you play this?
I was forced into playing this game. It was bought for me
Oh,
against my will.
that's how you get. That's how you get this Western man's junk in a vice grip. You're like, here's a video game via Steam. Play with me, and he
Play
feels
with me.
obligated to do it. Oh, it's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Um. So it's kind of a survival. I don't know. It's not a bad game. It's just not. It's not fully my kind of game. Basically, you're a prisoner. That's the story. Is you're a prisoner,
Oh my
and
god, you're
you
gathering stuff and slowly building a place to live.
yeah, and you're sent. You're as part of your like. You're like, oh well, to reduce my sentence, I'll go to a desolate world and terraform it for you. So you have to go there, and it's basically like, yeah, you go out, you craft things, and then you slowly transform the planet. You bring water to it, you bring grass to it, you bring animals to it. You know, you go through all these like stages of the planet. And so it's neat to watch the planet like change, but some of that shit is real fucking tedious to do. So
Oh my god.
it it's an interesting game. It's not my kind of game. But if you really like going out and finding materials and like building things and like building a house and like watching your environment completely change, because it does transform the planet
Oh my
completely into
god.
something else.
Uh-huh.
Um it's a good game. Not my kind of game. I don't have the patience for it. But
Satan,
yeah.
if you're listening right now, if you want to personalize my hell, just make me play this. Nothing will tear me up more inside than having to sit here and play, gather the thing, build the thing, watch the biology happen. Oh, I would die inside. But I'm glad it's a good version of that if you want to play that sort of thing. Holy jeez, oh, that hurt me just listening to it. Am I crying? Oh, okay. Did you play anything else? I don't think you did, right?
No, that was my 2 games. I spent a lot of time on In Where Words Meet. I spent a
Okay.
lot of time.
So I did a little thing. I was sick by myself. So what did I decide to do? I binged all of Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. I feel like I needed to mourn something, Meshi.
Okay.
Fate used to be really cool. Fate used to be awesome. All right. So the original Fate Stay Night anime was like 2006 or something, and it's based on like the visual novel, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And there's different paths you can take in the visual novel based on like how you're the gameplay of pressing X, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's different routes you could take. So what the first anime does is it basically adapts from all three of them and puts them together, but that doesn't make sense because those events wouldn't happen because they're from different routes, right?
Right.
So it's kind of confusing, but back in the day, it was just a cool fucking fight anime, about these people participating in the Holy Grail War, where each of them gets, a historic figure, servant person to do cool fights with, right?
Right.
It's just awesome, and it's a really like gritty tale, and you get to see these people, the suffering they went through, and the camaraderie that they find with the servant they have or lack thereof, and what they're willing to do to ultimately win this war to then get the Holy Grail wish, right?
Makes sense. Okay.
Awesome. It's something that it was manly. It was fucking cool, Meshi.
I'm waiting for the butt.
And then it fell off a cliff as soon as this guy named Natsu took over, who turned it basically into like a gotcha game and like a waifu just kind of like pump and dump thing. So it basically lost all of its substance and kind of turned into, oh, we're designing characters so you'll want to like pick up the phone game and spend a bunch of money trying to roll this in this turn-based or this auto battler game. And just you have long segments of like everything after Unlimited Blade Works. I think what's the first series after that? Apocrypha. I forgot what the fucking name of it is. It just all goes downhill, and it's just really sad because Fate used to be one of those things where like it's fine. Your harem anime shit. You're like whatever. You're like I love a nice lady. I love nice ladies. But Fate was something else. It was for those moments of like just just cool stuff, Meshi. Cool fucking fights. Gritty, dark, sad, depressing stories, and these people just like fighting to the death over a single wish, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And you're watching awful things happen, and then it turns into like, teehee, I'm actually a boy, and like flirting with you and shit, and just fucking just all the. It got too lighthearted. Oh, okay, to put it in perspective, all right. To put it in perspective.
Uh-huh. I'm waiting for it. Yeah.
So Shiro, the protagonist of Fate Stay Night, right?
Right.
He has a teacher who comes to stay with him because he doesn't have a dad anymore. He's just by himself. She comes over and she's kind of a lighthearted person, and she's just kind of a goofy kind of teacher. There's a side story from a PSP game where she dresses up in a tiger costume and fights. Right?
Okay.
It's a funny tongue-in-cheek joke on a side spin-off thing. Okay? You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
That's a funny tongue-in-cheek joke of like, oh, the teacher's like in a tiger costume and she's fighting. They made that teacher in a tiger onesie, a mainline fighter in the cast in the new series.
Oh,
Are you catching the problem that I'm having?
wait. I think I know who you're talking about.
Taiga.
Yeah. Maybe I have seen this.
It's awful. It's awful. Anyways. I'm sorry, Cobb. I'm going on a rant about Fate because it used to be cool and for people like me, and then it turned into like pandering nonsense, and it just kind of makes me sad because it used to be cool. It's almost kind of like what happened to Guilty Gear for me. But I got to I rewatched Unlimited Blade Works, and they even in Unlimited Blade Works they take out some of the darker stuff and they kind of imply things that happen rather than like, oh yeah, this is exactly what's happening, right? Or they outright remove like certain story elements, but it's still really cool and it's a fun fight anime. So I just went through all of it within the span of like 3 days, and it was nice. It reminded me of a time when Fate used to be for me, and then it slowly got taken away from me, and that's okay. Well, not slowly. It kind of got ripped away from my arms as I blood curdling screamed at the sky, but it's fine. I got to have my time with it, and the PSP fighting game's actually really fun. I finally got it working. I've been messing around with it, but anyways, enough about my Fate rantings.
I mean, to be fair, it was quite quick.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, I tried to boil past it. You were where winds meeting, like left and right, and I thought I might have gone on a Fate
Oh
tangent.
no. I knew the moment that when I was talking about where with me, I was like, this is what the podcast is gonna be about.
I'm staking my claim. Okay, so we watched Fate Unlimited Blade Works. It's still really cool. It's really awesome. I watched a little movie. Guess what it's called, Meshi?
I should know because I was courageous.
Look at the screen at the top
Yeah,
left.
yeah,
There you
yeah.
go. Use one of your 4 eyes, please. Where the hell is he? Oh, there's a whole storyline where he doesn't want to go run with his son. His son likes to do like track and field and stuff, and he's like, "Can you go run with me, Dad?" And he's like, "No, I can't be bothered." And it takes the daughter dying for him to be like, "Okay, I'm gonna put on some running shoes and go run with my son." This gentleman here gets laid off from his job, but he has the same name as another construction worker that one of the other police officers recommends to come work. He's walking down the street wondering how he's going to confront his family about getting laid off another job. And then the balding dad calls out to him, but it's the same name. So he attributes it to God being like, you set me on the right path to get me hired to build this guy's shed for $150 a day behind his house. So he joins the group via that. So you're almost like, this guy just like a fun, bad, like cop movie because the new guy, like, like they're chasing down these criminals and they're like, all right, I need you on like 2nd Street. And the guy's like, I haven't even found like Albert Street yet. He can't find his way because he's new. And this movie's ass, but I kind of had fun watching it. So there's this whole conversation that happens between the Mexican dad who's the construction worker guy, right? Where he's like, well, the dad finally finds out from the other guy. He's like, that's not my guy. My guy's in the hospital right now. Who do you have working at your house right now? So he goes home and he's like, what's your name? And he's like, this is my name. What's your name? And they start going back and forth and being like, what do you do for work? Well, what do you do for work? And then starts. It's a conversation that would never happen. This movie was bad, and essentially what happened was looked up on Google, what movie should I watch? And this movie was there. I'd never heard of it, and now I know why. It's kind of bad. But you know, we do the investigative journalism, so you don't have to, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it can't have been that bad because you made it through the whole movie, unlike that War of the Worlds movie.
Oh my god, with Ice Cube on Skype calls, just being like spying on his daughter. Never mind, we're not going to get into the unethical nature of the FBI guy spying on his daughter via public webcams to tell her to not buy the carbs. Anyways, you and I decided, well, I decided for you that I wanted to watch The Dark Knight Rises because I have not seen this film
Yeah.
since it came out. How did you feel about this watch around, Meshi? How did you like the movie?
It wasn't as good as I remembered. There's parts of it that I'm like, oh, somebody didn't really think they were gonna make a third movie, and then someone told them they were making a third movie, and they were like, ah, fuck.
Really,
um,
I thought Christopher Nolan set out to do a trilogy the entire time, and they ended up
no,
losing Heath Ledger because that was going to be like the big that
the big like thing. From what, well, I mean, every who knows the truth. I mean, there's probably something. I
Mhm.
remember reading an article about him going, if I knew I was going to make a third one, I never would have killed off Two-Face.
Oh, I see, gotcha.
So I mean, that's why I base it off of him not actually knowing he wanted to do doing a trilogy rather than just being told do a trilogy. But I could be wrong. You never
Mm.
know with these fucks.
Yeah, you never know.
But I didn't. I enjoyed it enough to be like, okay, I'm not sad that I watched it again. Um, but there were some parts where I was just kind of like, this is silly.
You know, there's certain parts that are a little silly. Anne Hathaway still didn't sell me on Selena Kyle.
I think that was one of my bigger problems with it was her.
What's his name? Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan. Yeah.
I don't know if he does his own casting or who. They really don't get like the ladies. Just Katie Holmes, a complete miss in Batman Begins. Anne Hathaway as Selena Kyle, very iconic. Just wasn't there, Meshi. Wasn't there. I still don't understand the ending of the movie. I still don't understand how he got away from the nuclear explosion. Where did he drop off if he did re-engage the autopilot? How he escaped the blast radius?
I
Could you have
I
done
used the
anything
explosion to
differently?
accelerate myself with my bat glider.
But I will say, I think I was in a theater when I first watched this film that made Bane's voice almost unintelligible. Um, it
That's
was
a
nice.
very painful for you.
Tom Hardy. I didn't realize I was in Discord with you. um, I didn't know he came up with that voice. I thought they overdubbed him with some other asshole, but he came up with that voice based off of a couple of things and brought it to him. It was like, we could do this or not. And Christopher Nolan, I guess, was like, yeah, let's do that. Um, yeah, I guess revisiting the franchise, I enjoyed Begins more than I thought I would. Um, I mean, I guess The Dark Knight really is the best of them.
Yeah,
Um,
it really is.
and this was just kind of like a note because you got you got the Black Skull like theming with like Gotham falling into chaos that they kind of stitched together with Bane to make this story happen. Um, I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it. But I think I enjoyed it more on this most recent watch than I did previously. I honestly, at some point, we're gonna have to go back and watch. Um, I want to watch The Batman with Robert Pattinson because I really did enjoy that film. It was a little long for me, but I did enjoy it. Is there any word? Are they doing another Batman with him or?
Yeah, they're doing another Batman with him.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
good
think
for
it's
them.
coming out in 2026, I think.
Oh, that's kind of soon. Um, we watched Dark Knight Rises, and then I said, I want to watch a movie I've never seen before. You proceeded to giggle. And I was like, why is he laughing? And then I found out because we watched Equilibrium. This movie aged like milk.
Oh
This
my
was,
god.
it took itself deathly seriously, and it was, oh boy, was it bad. Because you're expecting this moment where he kicks in the thing, he's in the dark, and you expect him to do his gun katas and it to be really cool. It looks really goofy. It really does look like Gunslinger Dante with the ebony and ivory, like shooting at random things really fast, and it just looks really bad.
And there's so many scenes where he like jumps in the middle of people, and then the people like get
Circle.
into their positions.
And they perfectly circle him, so if they shoot at him in the middle, they'll all shoot each other. Like, just, all right, boys, form up. And then I kept seeing this guy. So his new partner, after he shoots Sean Bean in the face, spoilers, because Sean Bean dies in every movie, he gets this new partner, who's one of the actors from Malibu Most Wanted, who kidnapped B-Rad G. So I can't take him seriously in this role. Because he's one of the guys who kidnaps this rich kid from Malibu, try to scare him, essentially scare him, quote unquote, white. And there he is being this Equilibrium. What do they call them? Not pastors. Clerics?
Oh, clerics. Yes. I was gonna say priests, but I knew that wasn't it.
Yeah, so they're these clerics of this dystopian society that essentially you don't get to feel or enjoy things. Otherwise, you're a sense offender. You have to be unaffected and unfeeling of emotion, and yet they take drugs to not feel. It's just so over the top and just like, I know at the time this was probably okay. Now it just does not hold up even slightly. And I was hoping that maybe just like the action would still be good. It oh god no, it was really funny to watch. God, was it awful.
Yeah. Yeah, it was real tough.
It was a tough watch. I would say it was a tough watch. I was laughing most of it. It was just kind of sad that it aged as poorly as it did.
It probably when it came out, it was considered a good action movie, but it's now aged into more of a comedy.
Yes, it is unironically turned itself into a comedy. Unironically, I guess. Now, speaking of things turning into comedies, we watched Beast of War, which is essentially, is this during World War I or II?
This was
two, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This so submarine gets hit with a torpedo, and these guys get stranded on a floating raft of wood, and a shark starts coming by and eating them one after another.
Yeah.
Measure your thoughts on this movie.
This movie is so ridiculous and just over the top of what it is based on that it was so ridiculous that I enjoyed it like a lot.
And the thing was, it was trying to play it seriously. This wasn't like some schlocky, like, oh, we're going to make a funny, like, just kind of like a slasher, like, bad movie. It tried to play it hyper serious. And I think them trying to play it that serious just made it even more funny. Because everything that we would make jokes about ended up happening. Because I even made the joke about, they had this little kazoo thing that they were calling out to each other with. I was like, oh my god, that thing's got to get stuck in the shark. So every time the shark comes around, it's got to hear this stupid kazoo sound. And then that ends up happening. It gets lodged in the fin. So the shark comes by, it's like, Hurr.
That shit was so funny.
Because it was like a broken
Air siren thing,
yeah, but it would have been cool if it was just an air siren, but the fact that it was broken made it sound like a senior citizen like losing air. It was literally Dumb and Dumber. You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? You know? And
Oh,
then
man.
and then
The best part. The best
tell him, Meshi. Tell him.
So there's a Japanese plane that, for whatever reason, has decided that these people on this raft is his mortal enemy. Which, I mean, obviously they're at war anyway. But he's like, no, it's my. He just flies over him and keeps shooting at him every time.
Strafing run after strafing run.
Strafing
Just
run.
being like, these guys straight on this raft are going to die.
And so basically he gets low enough that one of the main characters just puts rounds into his plane as he's doing this strafing run. And so the plane flies off and it's smoking and he's like, yeah, I got him. And he goes off in the distance, like so fucking far, like miles, but you can still see him. And then you see the plane just crash into the ocean. And Scum and I made the joke of, it would be so great if he came back on his own raft to fight them. Well, 15 minutes later, out of the smoke, you see another raft with a guy standing on it holding a katana in silhouette coming slowly out of the smoke. And it's like, oh my God.
They actually did it.
This is so fucking stupid. He survived the He survives the plane crash, makes his own raft, and somehow gets it to float over to them.
Miles as he has his katana in silhouette.
And then he just proceeds to fight them on their raft. In this one-on-one combat while this shark is circling. It's great. It was amazing. I think the Japanese guy dies to the shark, right? I think that's what he.
I think no. Wait, hold on. No, I think one of them shoots him with something, right?
Yeah, I think
Because
the Japanese
one of the
guy
guys
has,
like
a
bleeding out or
grenade
something. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
grenade. I think. Yeah, the guy's like he got bit or got shot. No, he got shot, and he's got a grenade, and he ends up like being like, "Hey, gotcha," and he blows him up as his redemption for throwing that one guy into the water to get eaten.
Yeah.
But oh, what a goofy, terrible movie.
Yeah.
I couldn't recommend it. It was just funny in the moment that every stupid joke that we were making was being incepted before us. And it's not like we knew anything about this movie. It's like once this dumb thing happens, it's like proceeds to happen. And then we made the joke. Remember the guy with brain damage actually has brain damage because his head's like filling up with blood. It's like, what if that guy just eats all the peaches?
And then he ate all the peaches. And then we made the joke about the air siren after he tosses it in the water. Like everything that we said this movie should be, it magically turned into.
Oh, and that's what made it great. I couldn't recommend you watching it, but the fact that me and you watched it at that moment, at that very time, was wonderful. Okay, I need an update from you, Meshi. I have stayed away from One Punch Man Season 3 because I've seen like clips of like the one-armed sword guy and like his sensei and like a couple other people having like slash fights, but they're not moving and they just have speed lines behind them, and it just looks awful. So I've stayed away. How bad is the animation in this season?
It's rough. Like
1 to 10, what would you rate it? 10 being God tier Ghost in the Shell, 1 being
it's a 5, maybe a 4.
I was gonna say 1 was gonna be Diary of the House Husband or whatever, Way of the House Husband.
No, because like,
but that plays to its strength of it being stupid.
Yeah,
but
Way of the House Husband is playing to its strength, and it's like the episodes are built on it.
yeah,
One
But
Punch Man It's just
It's an
like
action anime. It was so beautiful. What happened?
I don't know, cause like, cause not like every shot is terrible.
Hmm.
Like some of the shots are okay, but then you get to like when they and it takes like 6 episodes to get there when they finally go into like the monster association's place
Hmm.
and start doing battles and stuff. That's when you're like, oh no, it's going downhill really fucking real fucking quick. Um, like
Let me ask you something. Who's the because I thought I thought he was gonna be a kindred spirit with me. Who's the disciple of the old man who got kicked out because he was too like
Garo.
yes. So there was a fan animation of him fighting something big, and then they played the fan animation thing that came out before the season dropped, and then they showed it from this actual season. And I was like, oh my god, what did they do? It's like they didn't care.
Yeah, they didn't care, or
Well, I know
I
it's
don't know.
time and money, and I get it, but it's just like this show was so successful. I thought it was because I
Yeah,
think this is a new
no.
studio, right?
Yeah, it is. Like every season has had a different studio.
Oh man.
But like there's scenes where it's just like you're expecting an action to play out. So like Darkshine, who's like a giant muscular dude, like his muscles are so
Yeah.
strong that he's basically invincible.
Hmm.
Um there's a scene where he steps up and he does like he's doing a running action to show like how strong he is, and he's supposed to bulldoze through monsters, right? That's his thing. Like just running is enough for him to kill all these monsters in front of him. And the animation is him doing a run cycle
Hmm.
that someone like clearly did like a gif for and then like dragged straight forward, and then all the
Oh.
monsters are like are frozen in the panel that he's running through, and it's just them going ah. it's so it's just like you couldn't even animate them exploding or anything or having any impact whatsoever. It's just him like doing a run animation and then the monsters like slowly flying away off of it. Like the samurai guy is the only one that I can kind of forgive because he's supposed to be like, "Oh, I'm so fast, you can't see me like slash." So like he'll like draw his sword and then immediately sheath it, and then like the people will fall to pieces. Like that kind of stuff. And that's kind of
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
okay, but you're kind of also a lot of it is just him standing there like that and then like lines being everywhere. Yeah. So it's just kind of like, "Oh, fucking hell."
Oh, okay. Because the only reason I asked was what I wanted to hear from you is there's been some bad stuff, but overall it's more like a 7. But the fact that you're even toying with the notion of 5 or even 4 is like, just kill it. I'll just read it. I've already read. I started
Yeah.
reading. Like I'm back in my reading phase now, where like I like to read before bed now. So I'm like I'm just gonna. Eventually, I'll get around to reading One Punch Man.
Yeah.
Um,
Just just read it. Like the fights are there, but they're not animated enough to like get you excited about the fight happening. The fight's just happening.
nope.
And then it's over, and then you're like, well, that wasn't very well animated. I guess next episode.
All right. Well, sucks to suck, I guess. Tell me about this Netflix anime of Yasuke.
Oh my gosh. Um I watched this just randomly. I
Uh huh.
I just saw it and was like, okay, it's that Black Samurai guy. And like I was watching it, and it's a very generic anime. Like it's not like doing anything like super special or whatever.
Hmm.
Um and I was like, okay, so it's like him talking about it's a story where he basically is rescuing a orphan girl while she's newly orphaned because her mom dies and when they're saving her. Um and it's about his journey saving this girl. I was like, okay, that'll be a little interesting. People are after this girl, finding out
Mhm.
why. And then, like, out of nowhere, fucking mech suits,
I was a,
magic.
I was about to say, because I saw this shit in the background of this purple thing, this thing walking. Go on.
Yeah, it's like, I was like, what? Like, it was so unexpected because I just thought it was like this guy rescuing this girl, and this girl. Like, I thought it was like, have you ever seen the anime? Oh man, it starts with an M. I don't remember what it is, but it's basically like this lady who has a spear saves this prince who has like a spirit growing in him. It's like Minas something or whatever. I thought it was kind of be like that. Like, this girl has something, whatever. She's a special person. People are after her to kill her.
Mhm.
This guy is gonna save her. Nope. Nope. This girl has magic powers. She is the
Based on
um
historical events.
It's based on historical events. Yes. The only historical event being there was a black samurai. um, but it's very much an anime that was like, we have to get everything done in 6 episodes. That's all they gave us.
Oh,
Now,
it's a
granted,
6-episode thing. Okay.
it doesn't feel that rushed until the end, and then you're like, wait, they're gonna do what? They're gonna go fight the big bad guy? It's only
Did that
been
guy go
5
full bear
episodes.
mode?
There is a Russian woman that goes full bear mode.
Just like
She can.
what was that Russian Avengers movie I watched? What the fuck is that they called?
Oh man, I don't remember.
The Defenders?
The Defenders or something. It had some very generic
He had to
heroish
go full
name.
beast mode. Oh my god. Anyways, sorry. Go on.
Oh
Sorry,
yeah.
random.
She fucking dies horrifically.
How's she die? How's Bear Lady die?
So first she's an antagonist, right? She's after the
Hmm.
girl. She's hired to do it. And then later on, the girl uses her psychic powers to let them know, like, hey, if you come save us, we'll pay you like triple your rate. And they're like,
Mhm.
perfect. So they come back and they're being chased by this army. And so they're falling back and they're going to this ally of theirs. And for no reason whatsoever, the bear lady's like, you know what? I'm gonna see how many of these people I can kill. And she shuts the door behind her, and they run off to continue on to this castle. For no reason, she does this. They weren't in trouble. They were being chased, but they were gonna be chased regardless. So
Mhm.
she goes full bear mode up against this door and starts killing like 6 or 7 of them. And then suddenly she gets picked up in this blue outline and slammed against this door and pinned. And there's these 3 magic guys there that are all unison doing these hand symbols, and
Mhm.
they're doing all this stuff, and she's trying to fight this blue force against her, and then they finish their spell, and she basically, like, both of her arms get twisted, like super
Ooh.
twisted, like you would
Mhm.
like a loaf of bread with the
Yeah.
bag, and like blood and bones just shoot
Yeah.
out everywhere. And then they do it to her legs, and then they do it to her torso, and then the rest of her body gets just spun into this like string.
Oh. They
And it's
just
like,
turn her to
and
ragu
she was
spaghetti.
alive for most of it.
Oh, she ate it super hard. That's
Yeah. It was I was like, wow, that was such a metal way to die for absolutely no fucking
nope.
gain. Because you died within like 30 seconds of you closing that door, if that.
If woof. Out of
Um,
10, what would you rate it?
I give it a 7. It's an
7.
interesting
That's what I was
watch,
thinking.
but it's a very basic. This girl is like the hero we need. We're gonna go kill the bad guy
Mhm.
who's threatening the world. It's not doing anything special, but it's like weird magic mech guys that they they do it as an offshoot. Like, how did you get these mechs? And they're like, oh yeah, the main shogun guy is talking about it before he eats it in the next scene when the
Mhm.
story catches up. he's like, "Oh yeah, do you remember when the Mongols came and they brought all these technologies with them, which is these mech suits, and they were like murdering all of our people, and then they were wiped out by the typhoon that basically like killed them all, and then we took their technology and we made it into our own." So like they got their mech suits from the Mongols, and it's like, well, where did they get them?
You're asking too many questions.
I am asking too many questions. But it was just such a weird. I wasn't expecting an anime, and it wasn't that bad, and it wasn't terribly animated. Like the fighting much better than One Punch Man. So I give it a 7. Very generic watch, but if you need something to watch, it's only 6 episodes. It's not that long.
You're just like half a season of a normal thing. I watched 25 episodes in 3 days of Fate, so you could have just found out about this. Do we need to start rating things? I think we need to start rating things, Meshi.
Yeah, we probably do, Steve. We talk about a lot of
Mongol mechs.
Genghis Khan has had sex with nearly 90% of the mechs in his army.
He's a clanker. He's just beating cheeks on a mech.
I have fucked every woman in Asia. Now I move on to my mech units.
Oh, okay. Tell me about this Junchi Ito man. How did this go for you, Meshi? Because I'm aware of this man's art. I've read none of what he's written and or drawn. How did it translate to animation?
Some of the stuff translates well in terms of art style, but they flip-flop on how it's animated a lot. So like sometimes you just get like weird 3D stuff and you're like, and then sometimes it's like, it's I was looking for something that was kind of like the Cabinet of Curiosities. I was just looking for a little like weird like horror stories. This is basically like Twilight Zone but anime. It's weird little anthology stories. They're not connected, but they're all like weird little events or supernatural things or whatnot. Some of the stories are just like, I had an idea, it wasn't really well thought out, but it's creepy, so I'm gonna put it in here. That's kind of how it felt. And then some of the stories are like, oh, this is actually kind of really interesting. Like, what the fuck is going on? Overall, I would say 80% of the stories are good. The other 20% are just shit. They're just there to be like, wouldn't it be crazy if this happened? Yeah. Like, there's this really weird one where it's like the guy's brother who eats nails. Oh, no, sorry, he doesn't eat nails. He puts nails in his mouth like it's a toothpick.
Yeah.
And he basically, his older brother wants to study. Like, he has exams coming up, but the younger brother doesn't. So he always disturbs him. He tries to make noise or basically fuck with him at any chance that he gets. And so the brother gets really pissed. He tells the dad. The dad's like, oh, there's nothing we can do. He's just being him. And he's like, what do you mean there's nothing you can do? Like, fucking kick his ass or something. Like, and he's like, oh, he'll be fine. Whatever. And so he'll go off, he'll try to study, and then it happens, and then the brother's trying to do something. He's fucking with him, and then he'll find out he's fucking with him or whatever. And so eventually it goes on to the dad's like, well, what if I get a carpenter to make your room soundproof? And he's like, okay, that'll work. So he calls it this really weird carpenter. And I say really weird because he's drawn really weird. Like, he's just so out of place compared to how everyone else is drawn. It's like, why would you ever let this person anywhere near you? And he takes a liking to the younger brother because he sees that he hammers a nail really good. He doesn't. He's
Yeah.
fucking god awful. Every nail is bent in that wall, and he's like, "Wow, he hammers really good. Let me have him help me." So he helps him build this soundproof room, and basically what ends up happening, he's like, "I'm gonna build your room 4 walls thick." He's like, "Why 4 walls?" And there's like some Japanese superstition about things have to be in 4s or whatever.
Okay.
And so basically, the room becomes very tiny
Mhm.
because he's adding 4 walls, so the room shrinks every time he basically ends up making like a room that you can crouch in, and there's a desk there, but
Yeah.
he can't hear anything. But each one of these walls has like a crawl space in it that the younger
Uh-huh.
brother has helped build, so he knows about it. So he's set up all this different shit in these different rooms. So like he's nailed a bunch of jagged nails into like one wall. He's filled another wall with like goo and
Mhm.
whatever. And so he sneaks into these crawl spaces and fucks with the guy while he's trying to study in his soundproof room, and he can hear him because he's inside the walls. So he just chases him through the walls, and he like falls down the nail wall, which has like all these jagged nails in it, and it like shreds his clothes. He's like,
Mhm.
"You little bastard!" Like I thought he was gonna die in there. And
Yeah.
then he like falls in the goo room, and then like eventually he's like, "You know what? No, this is what he wants me to do." So then he leaves, and so the younger brother stays behind. He's like, "Ha ha ha! I'm just gonna annoy him to death," and he just starts making noise for like an hour in the wall. But the other guy has left. He's like, "I'm not playing this game anymore."
Mhm.
And then eventually the guy goes, "Ah, I don't have any air," and then he just falls over, and then the episode ends. So like you have like really weird stuff like that, and you're like, what the fuck was the point of this? Like it was just like, what if I had a really annoying brother? What if I made an animation about that? And then you have like other ones which are like creepy, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like you've probably seen gifs of like people with giant floating heads with ropes dangling underneath them,
Mhm.
and they're like copies of people on the ground. Oh, this is fucking hilarious. Okay, I'm glad I remember this because I almost forgot about it. In this episode,
Mhm.
there's giant heads that float around, and they have nooses attached to the bottom of them. No one knows where they came from. They just sort of just start appearing. And
Okay.
basically, they try and find the person that their face is of, and then they hang them. And then
Okay.
they just float in the sky with the dead body kind of over them. And so everyone retreats indoors. They're like, this is a national this is a national emergency. Stay inside, don't go if
Uh-huh.
you have to go somewhere, we're advising you do it by car.
Mhm.
So everyone's locked in their houses. There's thousands, millions of these balloons floating over Japan with people being noosed into them. And if you pop them or destroy them in any way, what you
Mhm.
did to that balloon happens to the person on the ground. So like in the beginning, these 2 girls are in this alley. Well, there was 4 of them originally, and their 2 friends get scooped up, and then they start running away.
Mhm.
And they run into this alleyway where one of the balloons is like trying to get them with the noose, and they're screaming. And this guy in the alleyway opens up his window. He's like, "Hey, what's with all the noise? What are you doing?" And they're like, "We're trying to hide from that thing." And he looks. He's
Mhm.
like, "Oh shit! Hold on!" And he runs back inside. He goes into his room, and he comes back out with a fucking crossbow immediately and shoots it and pops it. And he's like, "Ha ha, I've saved the day." And it's like, what
Oh.
the fuck? And then it looks, and then she's like, "Oh my god, he saved us. What do you think about that?" I forget what her name, but he looks at her.
Mhm.
He looks at her, and she's deflating. And then
Oh, she just
like she just
I thought
deflates.
I thought it was gonna be red. I thought it was gonna be like her head like looked like an arrow had gone through it or some shit or something really metal.
Well, yeah, basically like a hole pops up in her cheek where she got shot, and then she starts deflating and becoming like super skinny, and like her eyes shoot out of her head and become like little balloons, and then she hits the ground and she's all shriveled up or whatnot. And so she's like, "Oh fuck." So they can't destroy them.
Uh-huh.
So they're waiting in their home, and it's doing like 3 days later, 4 days later, whatever. And like on the like one of the 5 days later parts of it, they're watching the news, and there's this news broadcaster who is out on the roof, and they're filming all of these balloons floating in the air, and he's like, I'm here on the roof, you know, it's been blah 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 days since this occurred, and you know, these balloons are looking for the people that resemble them, and you know, they're hanging them, and like, we don't really know, the military doesn't know what's going on. And then the cameraman like looks out into the distance and like zooms in, and the guy on the microphone just like looks and goes, huh, that balloon looks like me. Huh, it's coming right for me. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh my god. No. And then like he gets dragged away in this news. I'm like, why were you even out there? And then the camera guy like pans over to his balloon slowly moving in front of the camera, and he's like, oh. And then like it cuts to black.
Yeah.
So we cut to the family that we're focusing on, and the
Uh-huh.
dad. Oh my god, the fucking dad. This is like day one after it's happened. Like after all the balloons show up and people are being hanged, and there's people
Yeah.
hanging from the sky. And day one. And he's watching the news, and they're like, stay inside, don't go anywhere, blah, 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 right? And the
Mhm.
dad looks at everyone, and he's like, well, I'm leaving. And they're like, what do you mean you're leaving? He's like, I have work to do. It's not going to do itself. This is not going to stop me. It's very important work. It needs to get done today. They're like, you're going to work? He's like, yep, they won't stop me. And they're like, what the fuck do you mean? No, you have to stay here. He's like, just make sure you have dinner on the table at 7. I'll be back then. And he goes outside, and he puts his
salary
arms
man.
he puts his arms in a cross over his neck, so if something like grabs him, it'll be, you know, his arms
Yeah.
will block it. And he's like, all right, here we go. And he starts sprinting to his car, and immediately a rope comes down and grabs him and like just crushes his rib cage. And,
Oh.
and then he's just seen floating in the air, just dead. And it's just like, what the fuck? What?
You understand, Meshi? That work needed to be done. The salary man will not be dissuaded.
It was just such a what the fuck moment. It was so great. Like that one was good. It was weird. It ended on a weird note.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of that in there. And then every once in a while, you just get hit with the brother wants to be annoying kind of story, and you're like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of crap, but there's also a lot of good in it. So I would give it a 7.5.
7.5. Okay, we're moving up.
If you like weird horror stuff, give it a watch. It's
Yeah. I feel as though we don't have enough horror stuff. Japan's horror stuff doesn't get enough of a shine. So
and you think it would, because they have a lot of weird shit.
horrifying stuff. Okay, so I don't know how much we're gonna have to say about these movies, Meshi. We
They're
watched Sisu, right?
Yeah, yeah, we did.
So I had watched an internet video about the White Death, who essentially is the based on true events, right?
Yeah, based on true historical events.
This is the first one, right? Yeah, the gold.
Yeah,
There's this plot is pretty paper thin. It's just this guy he finds gold, and then he happens across Nazis, and the Nazis try to kill him, and then he proceeds to kill all of them really stupid hard.
yeah, and he survives a lot of stupid shit.
Oh, it's comical what he does survive. But he's just that angry.
Yeah,
It's fun.
it is
I don't know
a
what else to
dumb,
say about.
over the top action movie. Like you watch it because Nazis die in horrific ways.
From one
From like,
old guy who's just really sad and misses his family.
yeah,
And he takes it out on all of these Nazis.
and if you go in expecting a dumb action movie with a lot of death and a lot of like people dying horrifically, like that guy
who
it's
ate
great.
a landmine to the face. It's
Ate a-
I mean, and I like how that the first encounter, and they're like, Yeah, Command told us that we got off lucky after losing like 14 guys and told us just to leave.
Yeah. And no one ever listens.
Nope.
I can't even remember why he lit himself on fire.
Uh, I don't know because he covered himself in gas. um, just watching all the stuff again. Yeah, I don't know why he lit himself on fire either. I mean, for God's sake, he survives a plane crash.
He survives a fucking plane crash. On top of being able to literally hold onto the bottom of a plane with a pickaxe and somehow boarding it.
With the
Like,
pickaxe.
like at
Yeah.
that point, just if I was the Nazi, I would have just shot myself in the head. Like the fucking Terminator's after me. Fuck this shit. I'm out.
And then I guess so we watched these back to back and we went to the second movie. I guess what would you rate the first one? I mean, for a dumb fun movie, I think it was like an 8. Like
Yeah,
I
was gonna
enjoyed
say
it.
it's a solid 8 for a dumb action over the top movie.
Now the second one, he makes it back to his home and his family's all gone. And who's this Russian asshole that they break out to go after him? What was his
It's the
name?
guy that murdered all of Dragunov, I think is what his name
Dragunov.
was.
Yes, that's the name drop that they had her based it off of. So now this one, so he's dismantled his home and he's taken it across the country, tried to get cross a border so he won't be harassed by Nazi or won't get chased by this Russian guy anymore. And all he wants to do is take his lumber and go build a house somewhere. And they won't leave him be. This one, the first movie was over the top. This one got Looney Tunes really fast.
Really fucking fast.
It was fun and it was enjoyable, but it got that goofy. And only proceeds to get more goofy. He flips a tank by blowing gas into, like he straps a jet engine or something to a tank.
No, he strapped a bunch of landmines to the bottom back of the tank.
So
The
it
jet
would blow
engine
up
wasn't
and
the train.
Oh yes, so he fucking blows up a tank to flip it over the Nazi line just to get across the border. Check.
Which they just drag him 5 feet backwards. So he literally flipped a tank for no reason and hurt himself severely.
Yeah, this movie, it was over the top and it was fun and it was goofy.
I mean, he took out a plane that was kamikazing him by somehow managing to get 2 logs to build the ramp in front of his truck, and then that launched the plane off into the distance. It's so over the top.
It's just goofy. I have a hard time feeling because he shoots a missile at a dude in a train car. And it stops moving just before him and then starts going again and crushes his skull in before it explodes. I don't know if I like this movie more or less than the first one.
If you think of it as less of a sequel and more of like Elmer Fudd versus Bugs Bunny, but like rated R, it's kind of what it is. He's Bugs Bunny just trying to build a home, and Elmer Fudd's like, I'm hunting Sisu.
I mean, I guess so. No, I was gonna go Wile E. Coyote, but I think the Elmer Fudd, Bugs Bunny, the hunting, I think really does. It all kind of works. It was all Acme. It was really dumb, but it was fun. So I'd recommend to watch them.
Yeah, they're dumb little action movies. I probably would rate the second one like a 7.8. It's
Slightly
so
below.
over the top done. Yeah, just because it's almost too comical, but it's still enjoyable comical.
Because the other one, we were like, oh my God, he's eating it so hard. The second one, we were like, no. And then it started busting out laughing because of how just ridiculous it ended up getting. But I wasn't mad at it for doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
I love a good death game, Meshi. Death games are so fun to me. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. I think because the stakes are high, and I'm a flan. I'm a fan of a ribeye. Um, so we watched Alice in Borderlands season 1, and it was kind of just a bad death game, and this was kind of whatever. I think this is based on a manga, I think. Um, so you watched season 2. I thought I had watched season 2, but I guess I hadn't. How did
So
season 2?
there is a season 3. I have
We
not
watched the trailer
watched the
for it.
season 3.
Yeah.
How much of season 2 can I spoil? Because they do the reveal about what's going on in season 2 at the end.
I don't even know, how detrimental of it would it be to watch? Like, is season 3 worth watching? Like, are you going to be watching it?
Because of the reveal and what happens at the end of season 2, I'm almost scared to watch season 3. Because I
How many
don't know where they could go with it.
how many episodes is it?
I don't know. I haven't even looked at it yet. I just
No,
know
I
it
meant season
exists.
2.
Oh, season 2 is like 10, I think.
Because I'm just thinking now, do I just need a marathon this to what? Did you enjoy watching it?
Yes, I did enjoy watching it.
Okay. How
There are
much of your enjoyment was based on surprise things that happened?
a lot of my enjoyment was more based on like the games,
Yeah.
um, and the suspense in them. And there's a lot in there. There's a lot of good games. There's some ones that are like, whatever. There's some stuff I didn't care about, but like overall, it's a good watch. I would recommend it. If you like season 1, you'll like season 2, basically.
Okay. Okay. So if that's the case, with season 2, we're gonna cut it there, and we're gonna come back next week. I will have finished all of season 2, and we'll talk about it, and then hell, we might have even watched season 3 by then. We'll find out. Because now I'm interested. I'm back in because we watched the first. Did you watch all of it with us?
Yeah, that's the only reason that I watched season 1 is because I watched it with you.
Oh yeah, because we got locked in. We were just like, I saw a death game, and I was like, I need to watch this because I like death games. I think they're super fun.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna take your mic away, Meshi. Don't spoil anything.
fair enough.
I'll watch it tonight. You're gonna go to bed, and I'm gonna turn it on. All right, the last subject for the podcast. You and I have a guilty pleasure. By no means is this anime good or well animated, um, but it's fun. I need to mute it. Record of Ragnarok 3. It dropped. I'm trying to think of the past seasons. I love Chin-Shi. He's
Me.
wonderful.
Yeah, he was great. I loved
I
him.
I feel as though the first fight between him and Hades, I think, was the most fun I had. Because you had Chin-Shi versus Hades, and then you had um, Tesla versus Beelzebub,
yeah,
and then you had Leonidas versus the fuck did Leonidas fight?
Apollo.
Apollo, yes. Um, I will say, it's been so long. How many years apart have these seasons been? Like 2 or something?
2 years about, yeah, roughly.
Um, this was not animated great. I feel as though most of the budget did go into the first fight,
Oh,
and
most
even some parts,
definitely.
and there's even parts of that first fight that were kind of rough to look at. Um, this is not something I would say you should watch for amazing choreographed jaw-dropping fights. It's more, are you here to watch how these historical figures are portrayed and just kind of the dialogue that happens? I feel that's more of a reason to watch the show than it is for the actual like fights to like play out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because the back and forth, as far as like sometimes the strategy can be fun of like what each fighter does, it doesn't necessarily look great when they do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. With one exception being one of the exceptions being the fucking Jack the Ripper versus Hercules. That one was
Hercules.
great. I
Oh
like that
man,
one.
Jack the Ripper. Oh, the manga takes like almost a year per battle as well. But no, the problem is, Roy, it's just you're getting 3 fights in a season, but in between seasons, there's like 2 years. So, like, how far is because you've read the manga, right, Meshi?
I have not read the manga because I didn't want to spoil myself
Spoil
too
yourself.
much on it.
Oh,
I
now
just
you know
every
how
now
far.
and then I get like a YouTube post that's like blah 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 versus blah blah blah. I'm like, you bastards!
No. So it's one of these things where it's like this is. I feel as though this is our guilty pleasure because even Nikola Tesla was done in 3D and he did not look great.
No, he did
Um,
not.
his abilities and what he did with his Tessie mech was not all that cool. It was more of I can float on the ground so I won't telegraph my movements. I can just slide around in this tiny box that I've made for myself to tell myself I can't move outside of it. um I will say I think what dragged down the Tessie fight for me, even though I had fun making, because the whole running joke of Tesla is he has bad names for things.
Yeah.
And I would rename them into the Tessie Punch or the Tessie Shuffle. And that was fun. Beelzebub's backstory was so fucking boring. Oh my god. It was like because like Chin-Chi, I loved his whole background story, right?
Yeah.
I really got invested in his. And even Hades being the oldest and strongest brother and like, oh, there all these things are coming out of hell right now while my brothers are fighting the war. I'll go handle it myself. And just like, it's just endearing and just whatever. And just that little backstory with Poseidon being, how he respected and whatnot. It was nice. Beelzebub was a snooze fest. But at the end of it, I ended up like Tezzy he was kind of fun as a person. His fight was kind of boring. His some of the moves he ended up doing were pretty cool. Um, but
I'm honestly still confused why you would even pick Nikola Tesla. Like technology aside, right? Like he
mhm,
still doesn't know how to fight.
because he's a dreamer.
Yeah.
um, I kind of wish we got more of Leonidas, but we kind of just got the fact that like he was like, nope, I'm gonna be a man, and other men saw him and were like, wow, that's the manliest man ever. I'm gonna follow him. Um, I did like the fact that he always had stogies and he was wearing combat boots and like camo cargo pants.
Yeah.
um, this is just a guilty pleasure thing. I can't really recommend you watch it unless you enjoy seeing how the gods are portrayed and how these historical figures, quote unquote, are portrayed. Um, how do you feel about this season compared to the last 2 that we watched, even though it's been so long?
I feel like see, man, I liked Leonidas and I liked um the
Jinchi?
first guy, but
Yeah.
like the Tesla one just kind of drags it down a lot for me. Like it almost feels like it would have been better to X that middle fight and then just
Yeah, well, it's just
animated the other two a lot better. But then
yeah.
again, then we're waiting for more fights in the future.
Did we get a preview of who's gonna be? Oh yeah, it's this little swordsman guy who apparently like died at a young age. I don't know who he is.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it was apparently the best who never lost anything. And do we know who he's gonna fight?
He's fighting some other random swordsman that we did. He looks like he's in Japanese armor, so I don't know what he.
Okay, so we didn't get a full name of
I don't
him, but
think
we
so.
know who's gonna represent the. Yeah, the Tesla fight dragged on, but was it? I felt like Beelzebub's part of the story just kept going on and on and on. I don't even know how many episodes it was that we got his boring ass backstory. But the
Yeah,
fight
like-
kind of kept going too. Also, the whole thing
Yeah.
was kind of bad, but at the end of it, I kind of liked Tesla. But
Like I expected Satan to show up. He didn't. Kind of sad about it.
that's just it, Meshy. He is Satan. Beelzebub is him, and he is I. Yeah, I mean, I had fun. I feel as though I still liked the Jack the Ripper versus Hercules. And
That's probably
Poseidon
my favorite
was
fight.
so cool. Uh, it even started out strong with Thor and Lu Bu. Like that's what you lead off with. That was awesome. Even Thor's gross throbbing hammer thing.
Yeah. So it's supposed to do that? Do what?
Pulse. Oh, never mind. Oh, I forgot about the sumo guy. Heart's breaking only once. It's fine. I guess that's all I had to say about it. Really, is for my dumb guilty pleasure of like a badly animated thing. I still enjoyed what was there.
Yeah.
For the most part, just the middle of it was just kind of bad.
Yeah. Because they always have that like big moment where they're like, oh my god, they're losing, and then they do like some really like spectacular move at the end. Like fucking Leonidas deflecting that guy's light speed arrow back into his chest was so cool.
Oh, you had that. Oh, it. That was supposed to. Oh, never mind. Just, you have little moments that are awesome, and then you have a lot of poorly animated stuff in between.
Yeah.
But that one moment's pretty cool. But, Meshi, I think that does us for a podcast. I think we did it. I think we came back stronger than ever after that. But I do want to react to one thing before we close out stream. If you're watching this on YouTube, we react to stuff sometimes, but I can't put that on YouTube because apparently everyone gets mad at me and copyright infringes me or whatever because I'm a boomer and I don't know how AI works. But anyways, that's a podcast. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see y'all next time. Say bye to him, Mesh.
Bye.